All right, I think we're live. Happy Tuesday, guys. We've been live for the last 40 seconds. How does it already say 40 seconds? I don't understand. Happy Tuesday, guys. Welcome to the Double Dribble podcast for Tuesday, October 26th. Jake and Shell here checking in for episode number 2. How you doing, Shell?
Doing pretty good.
Lovely.
Better than you. It's not 5:30 where I am.
That's not bad, though. There's something a little gratifying about waking up before the sun, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you could probably sleep for 2 more hours and still do that, but yeah, I hear what you're saying.
It's all right. We 6:30 puppy play group. We're up and rolling. We got a first week of NBA in the books. What'd you think? Give me any words jump out at you before we hop into our top storylines?
Well, before we jump in, it's been brought to my attention on the last podcast. I'm not gonna make a whole bunch of excuses. You know that you had me up late doing my first podcast ever, and obviously I'm going to start to ramble in that case. And I rambled into saying that Russell Westbrook is a great leader, which we all know he's very well not. Intense competitor was probably more the verbiage I was looking for, which he is, but I don't care how good of a competitor he is because that team's looking like a mess, and that will be one of our key storylines after week 1 is that the Lakers, they're looking like a play-in team more than a playoff team.
Agreed. And did you see the outfit Russell was wearing the other day to the stadium? It was like some wild thing with like.
If you're showing up to a game like that, man, you got to win.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's
been all season though. The shit he's been wearing, but that was the icing on the cake. Yeah, you dress like an asshole. You better fucking Excuse my French.
It's triple double time. It's
absolutely double time. You can't show up like that and then come out with an L because you got to walk out of the stadium with that outfit and an L on you.
Yeah, that's tough. All right. Well, you're forgiven. Chat forgives you. Everyone forgives you. We're moving along. Speaking of Philly,
in the past,
over in Philly, what is the sentiment in Philly land on old Benny Simmons not being mentally ready to play? "Quote unquote." That's a quote.
That was a quote ready to play from the end of last week when he met with team officials. I think it was Thursday morning, in preparation of the home opener, which obviously he wasn't going to play in because he would have gotten booed out the building like no one's business. JD Drew got batteries thrown at him, if you remember correctly, in Philly, just for asking for a trade. This whole Ben Simmons thing is a lot worse, and there's a lot more scars involved with it. So I can only imagine what would happen to him if he actually entered the arena in Philadelphia anytime soon.
Oh my God.
So I wouldn't be mentally prepared for that either.
The finishing touch on his mental masterpiece would be that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mentally prepared for that myself. So I guess I get that, but I mean he's coming up with any excuse he can right now to not suit up and just try to collect a paycheck. But it's still a shit show.
We were talking about it. What is the best play with his stock? Like you almost have to just keep him off the court and just hope that somebody like forgets about the super short term. If you're going to try, but you're not going to get any. We've debated it, and I would love to hear if anybody in the universe, we'd have you in on the next stream or something. If you think you can get something for Ben Simmons on the open market,
the more I watch that Portland team play, the more I'm convinced. Not Dame, but I'm starting to think CJ is going to become available.
Yeah, that team is so flawed.
They're really flawed. They're desperate. You got to do something to Chauncey Billups is going to be asking for it because he's going to want to point the finger elsewhere in his first year. And also you got to try to keep Dame happy. And there's no way. I know he talks the talk, but there's no way that guy's happy. The competitor he is. He's sick of losing. He's been losing his whole career.
The problem is that Ben Simmons gives the illusion of defense, but doesn't actually like play good team basketball or like stuff where it's like it's not really what you think it is. So it's all an illusion.
He would help them on defense, but you're never going to take the ball out of his hands or out of Dame's hands to put in Ben Simmons' hands.
Oh yeah,
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do with him?
Exactly.
What's he gonna do? Just
So
go eat popcorn?
I mean, I guess
on the court. So at least he's not physically on the court to screw up all the ball spacing. It's just like, no, I'll play with 4 on offense.
Yeah, maybe that's what it would take for him to realize, hey, I'm not the one that should be taking the ball up every play. But that guy's so delusional. I don't know what. I'm not gonna even try to think for him.
He stepped onto LSU's campus, made like a hullabaloo by pulling around trucks with chains, like during the summer, like in the middle of campus with everybody like, go LSU basketball. We're pulling around pickup trucks on chains, and he didn't even make the NCAA tournament. It's like just, all right, no good. All right, well, we'll keep tabs. I mean, obviously, we'll see what rolls. What's your prediction? If I had to predict, I'm going to say that he never suits up again in Philly. Or ever. I don't think
I think there's definitely a chance that he never suits up again. But he definitely is not suiting up again in Philly. That's just it's too far gone. Yeah, they tried to have Embiid come out at the home opener, and it was very unheartfelt. You could tell because he just like mumbled a sentence at the end, but he brought up Ben and was like, "He's our brother. You got to support him." Blah blah blah, and that was like it. But then he just like he was putting the mic down as he said it. Basically, it's like he had to.
They're making me do this.
Yeah, he said everything but that.
This will all be over soon. See you guys later.
And then we proceeded to lose to the Nets, which would have happened even if Ben was on the court, because that guy's not closing the game for you.
Yeah, it could be worse. The Nets defense, though, is actually one of my talking points. We're already 7 minutes in. Let's dive into a couple hot takes. So, what do you have for us in the hot take realm? I think we're gonna try and dig in and do like 3 Shelly hot takes every ep.
Why am I a hot take guy?
You are a hot take guy. Shelly loves a couple pieces. Put it this way: if I don't know, like Shelly loves a good. Give me like 2 pieces of evidence. I'll give you a conclusion, and let's work our way back from there.
It must be all the Hot Pockets I ate growing up.
Did you eat a lot of Hot Pockets?
Big Hot Pocket guy.
I fucking ate a lot of Hot Pockets too. When right after college stage for me. Like go get a couple
and college stage too. I mean, you just got to try. You're balling on a budget, so yeah. But even after college too, cooking too much time. But anyway,
you're a growing kid. 2 Hot Pockets is a solid meal.
Absolutely. It's unhealthy, a lot of sodium probably. But all right, I digress. We got to stay on topic here. Enough with the Hot Pockets. But my first Hot Pocket.
Let's call them Hot Pockets.
That's what I just did. You see what I did there?
I love it.
My first Hot Pocket is the Warriors are back. I've seen this team play. I just need a healthy Steph. Draymond came to play in shape at the beginning of the year this year.
He's playing great basketball.
I mean, the 2 of them is really all you need to be a playoff team. If Clay comes back and can contribute and stay healthy, I think they're a top 4 team in the West and a legit contender to come out of the West.
It's interesting because I will admit my biggest in our preseason preview is like my biggest problem is that they keep rotating in these auxiliary pieces. So none of the auxiliary pieces gain enough experience to like push the whole ship forward. But I actually do. You see massive strides out of Jordan Poole, massive strides, just knowing where he needs to be on defense and stuff. His defense was so bad last year. It's actually like borderline acceptable now. Damian Lee,
and also, I mean, his shot wasn't where it was last year either. The shot this year looks very pure. I trust him to shoot off the dribble.
He had a good shot in college though.
He did, but
rough rookie situation.
Exactly.
But he was like a 3-point that guy kind of thing in a John Beeline offense. So I give him his props there. But I don't disagree. I still want Clay though.
Yeah, 100%.
For them to be. I don't know. It just feels like this is also the kind of thing where we're looking at. They're like the version of if this was a college basketball analogy, like they're bringing back like 3 seniors.
Yeah.
Where it's like, and there's a lot of other teams that are like freshmen, sophomores, and like their ceiling will be later in the season. But I do not disagree. And they made me some money the other night. I was very happy.
Yeah. No, they're they look the most together right now. But again, when you have the two leaders that they do in Steph and Draymond to run the show, it's a good situation. And Steve Kerr, yeah, he's been dealt a great hand as a coach, but he's a great coach.
I like the Otto Porter Jr. pickup too. He looked good in the game the other day. Just like fits in well with the general vibe.
Iguodala is really too old, but I mean, hey, if you want to give him 10, 15 minutes here and there a night, I mean, you can still get it done for you. Yeah, they're just a good team, and they don't have Kuminga back yet.
They will definitely be in the playoffs.
Yeah, Wiggins looks like he's kind of accepting finally a more complimentary role there and more of a bench role.
Yeah, he also looks a little like me right now. He needs a shower.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with them, but
what are you gonna do?
Yeah, they look good. So that's
take two.
Take two. I mentioned the Lakers. Take two is that the Wizards are gonna get back in the playoffs this year. I know they lost last night. Dinwiddie had a really off game.
They did in general. I watched the whole game because I took the Wizards.
They did in general, correct.
And they got to earn.
I mean, Patty Mills couldn't miss. Although Patty Mills hasn't been missing all year, he's a great fit in that team. But
he's a good fit on the offensive end for sure. Because he'll just hit what.
Well, of course, I mean, Patty Mills and defense don't typically come up in the same sentence.
No, he doesn't do that.
Yeah,
he's Australian. They don't do that.
No. Well, Matisse.
What scares me, you know who's good, and we talked about this before the season, and they got a straight robbery on him. Gafford was a straight robbery from the Bulls. He's going to develop into something good. He only played like a year at Arkansas and was like not on a very good team, but he's like a legit, like you can do like what the Spurs are doing with Podol or whatever. You could play him as the 1 in on a 4 out. You can actually do it. Like if they push out and they just continue with this Kuzma at the 4, Denny Avia actually surpasses him and ends up playing the 4, so you don't have to actually have Kyle Kuzma in your
starting. That's what you would like, yeah.
I mean, if they're going to be a playoff team, you need somebody to usurp Kuzma into the starting lineup.
Is that how you say his last name? Avia? I always call him Avia, but
I think it's Avia.
Is it? I thought it was Avija. However you say it. I like that kid's game. He just needs to become a more consistent shooter, but he can dribble, he can pass, he plays some defense.
Yeah, I haven't I get what everyone's saying, but I don't see it personally.
Okay. I see the pieces, but yeah, it has, don't get me wrong, it's far from having come together. So
yeah, I thought Gafford was an absolute monster in that game yesterday. I mean, without Aldridge in there, he was definitely jumping off tape yesterday when I was watching.
They're gonna struggle up front.
I think the refs
Hachimura comes back. I think they can be. Yeah, true.
I don't think he's coming back this season. If you leave because of like personal reasons and you're probably like something concerned about COVID, he's got all family in Japan and stuff. He's from Japan.
Really? That's what it's over.
I don't think he'd be back. That would be my guess, but I don't know.
That hurts them significantly, obviously. Because again, that could push Kuzma to the bench, and he's just probably better coming off your bench.
And they need you can't have Kuzma and the Avia guy and stuff in games. Like Bruce Brown was just eating on the.
That'll be terrible defense.
You need to rebound too. You can't rebound with that.
Nope. And Trez is a good rebounder, but he's not going to make up for that.
Yeah, he also. It's like, bro, hit a free throw. Like when we're down by that many, I'm trying to cover here. Let's hit a free throw. But I like them. I agree. I also think the refs are hating on Bradley Beal because of the whole his decision to do whatever. I think the NBA is taking it out on him. They won't give that. They must have called one foul on the Nets yesterday.
That was just their team in general, though. Yeah, I feel like they just weren't. The Wiz in general were not getting calls. It's like they wanted the Nets to get a victory almost to keep them relevant.
And I think all the money was on the Wizards yesterday. So if you want to do a little conspiracy theory, NBA's rigged, there you go. I do think it's also the NBA's rigged. The NBA has a really big and way to its detriment. It's just a respect thing. It's like in the NBA, it's just like it's about respect. Like if you earn X amount of respect, aka make the money X amount of dollars, you get calls.
Yep.
It's like you're gonna get calls, and then you can kind of do whatever you want on the other end, like LeBron, just like elbowing people back at the end and then suplexing them, and they're like,
yeah. I mean,
but,
it's the nature of the beast.
But you're in the McDonald's commercials.
Yeah.
All right, last one because we want to get to some previews for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We're gonna come back in Friday or earlier.
Tuesday, Wednesday. We're looking at.
I thought there was one game on the Thursday that's gonna be super easy, so we'll toss it in. But our last point, I think, for the intros has to be the Lakers are just critically flawed. Critically flawed. If you are going
full
out
circle there, yeah.
You would not take this ship into outer space if they showed you this like ship and they're like, "You comfy going?" I'd be like, "No. We get X amount above whatever. There's X minutes left on the clock. What do? How do you score late in the game with that team? It's very difficult because they basically pack the paint.
I mean, obviously, you give the ball to LeBron or they give it to AD on the wing, but you're just asking these guys to do things that they're not best at. Like LeBron, yeah, he's a closer, but do you want him pulling
He's a
up?
closer with the ball in his hands to pass it to somebody else to actually close it.
Or drive if he can get to the rim because he's going to hit his free throws as well. But yes, he's a closer in that sense. He's not a closer in a Dame Lillard. I'm going to take you off the dribble, pull up and shoot, and like my chances.
Well, he'll do it. I don't like.
He'll do it, but yes, exactly. But
I actually think that's probably weirdly enough the best offense now. It's so weird to say because I don't like LeBron ISO, but I think LeBron ISO is the best late game offense. It's better than Russell ISO, and it's better than AD. Just like doesn't really like playing physical basketball anymore. He just likes to pull up jump shots, and I don't want an AD pull up jump shot with my final shot.
Yeah, well, that's just also like big men at the end of games they're just pretty useless. I mean,
he can't hit free throws though. He can hit free throws. I don't know.
But I mean, you can't give it to Embiid at the end of a game. Really, you can't get. It's just too hard to get those guys the ball.
Yeah, too hard to physically get them
exactly.
The ball. No, I know, but AD you can kind of get him the ball. But the thing is, if you get him the ball on the outside, then he's just gonna end up taking a pull-up jump shot where it's like, do you want like that at AD? Like just hold it around your hip, swing it up, and take a pull-up jump shot over someone. Like that's not
a
really
good look.
No.
So yeah, they just don't have that guy, and they really just don't have shooting in general surrounding this team. Like Malik Monk is not a good shooter. I don't know if they thought he was going to be a great shooter for them, but he's very average. Your boy Austin Reeves, he can shoot, he can play a little bit, but I mean, what do you expect out of
he needs to get he needs to like go to an NBA conditioning room too before
he's not going to be that guy this year by any means.
Taylor Horton-Tucker doesn't fix that. He's like a secondary ball handler.
He's a poor man's LeBron. And then, I mean, Trevor Ariza is too old. And even if he was in his youth, Trevor Ariza is an average NBA three-point shooter.
I feel like he will help this team when it comes back, though. At least it gives it a little more. Like this starting lineup with like Westbrook, Bazemore, LeBron, and AD, that's like so bad.
Well, and then Carmelo, he has his nights. Like the other night, I think he was like 6 for 8 from 3. He went off for 28 points.
Because like you in your head, you're like, oh my God, this is the nuts defensive lineup. How is anybody going to score? And then you remember, oh wait, you actually have to try hard and play defense to still be good no matter what.
And offense, this is a league where offense trumps defense. Obviously, defense is easier to bring every night because it's defense. That's just sports in general. But yeah, I see it with my Sixers all the time. You can bring that defense every night. You can have good length. You can play good defense, but you got to be able to score in this league because there's a lot of scorers.
You got to be able to close. It's also with you guys. You're watching a team that like consistently, you just haven't had guards in so long. You forget what good guard play is over there. You're like, it's like it's a thing of the past. How long is it?
The last good guard we'd have, I would say, was probably Drew Holiday.
Oh shit. How long ago was that?
I want to say probably 2013 they got rid of him.
Oh,
maybe 2012.
God. You're going on 10 years without a point guard?
Yep.
What? That's insane.
They were the Andre Miller years.
Oh,
What, he had
Andre
Andre Miller
Miller
at the end of his career. I mean, I love Andre Miller. That's one of the
best old
best
man
old
game
man
like ever.
game. Yeah, guy was so unathletic, yet would get buckets when he wanted. Did not have a pretty shot.
Great distributor too.
Yeah,
He's
didn't
just
have a
really
pretty
good
shot,
player.
but would hit his shots a lot. Sometimes you get hot from three. Yeah,
Yeah, I like Andre Miller.
Great player. Yeah.
All right,
But,
a couple. Let me
so-
just dive in real quick on my two. The two things I just wanted to bring up real quick were that I'm doubling down on my Raptors takes. This team's going to evolve into a good team. I'm not sure what they're doing right now, how Fred VanVleet gets 17 assists in a game. Because why? I didn't think he would be the primary ball handler. I don't think I thought he wouldn't have the balls in his hands enough to do. But I guess earlier in the season, Scotty Barnes can't do it.
Yeah, and even still, I don't know if I would give the ball. I mean, VanVleet's just got a ton of experience over him. They trusted him the year they won the championship.
Oh no, I want him like shooting. I was just surprised. I'd just be like, with whatever lineup we're playing. I guess if Gary Trent's out there too, it's like. But I just want VanVleet taking so many damn shots.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, but I like him playing like a Damian Lillard.
I guess
I feel like he's a poor man's Lillard to me. VanVleet, like you can take the ball. I mean, he doesn't take to the hoop like that, but when he's running the offense from the top of the key, I trust him to take a pull up three if he wants it. I trust him to camp out there and
I really do. I trust that guy a lot, and he's proven it. I mean,
absolutely, and he can shoot it from 10 feet outside the arc if he wants to, because he's got that type of range. But yeah, he runs a good offense. He's pretty smart with the ball. So I don't see Scotty Barnes taking that role over anytime soon. But they do have when Siakam comes back.
That's when they get to their best, though. That's when they become the best team, is when Scotty Barnes is, because Scotty Barnes is mentally like capable of that.
Well, you want him. You basically what the Sixers have been trying to do with Simmons, or wanted Simmons to do. You want him handling it in transition, because when you have a guy who's 6'8 plus 250 plus pounds coming down court full head of steam, and you have an advantage on numbers, it's tough to stop that.
Yeah, I know, but it works in the half court too. You can just have like a 6'8". I mean, it's just LeBron. You're just doing the LeBron game where you just have that guy initiated, or KD on the Warriors.
Yeah,
it's the same concept where you have that guy initiated, and he's just so freaking big getting downhill that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a huge Scotty Barnes guy, which is weird because he can't really shoot. I like shooters. I like guys that can shoot.
Yeah, I'm surprised you like Scotty Barnes, because he's Ben Simmons-ish. But like we said, character-wise, they couldn't be more different, which is the big difference.
On a 1 to 10 scale, final question before we go into breakdowns. 1 to 10 scale, how much worse are the Nets and their supporting cast than last year? This team is old.
I'd say, well, if I were to rank last year's supporting cast, I'd give it like a 4 generously, and I would say this year's probably a 3 right now.
Yeah, it's not that much worse. It is a step down. It also optically is a lot worse without Aldridge, because like Blake Griffin, man, is
But there's going to be a lot of nights because they're going to have him on just a minute count. He's not going to play back-to-backs, because I assume just because the heart condition.
I think. Oh, true. I didn't think of it. I think James Harden used to be on NCT and is now like in that post phase in the movie. Limitless, where like you're feeling the adverse effects of it, and you just like age at a. You know when he goes to see his sister, and he's like, "Maggie, what happened to you?" And she's like, "She's so old."
Yeah,
she's talking about her and her husband falling apart. That's like.
Hold on, what? What part of Limitless is that?
The sister, remember? He sees his sister, and she's like so aged, and he's like, "Why are you taking it?" Whatever. The sister.
I guess I haven't seen that in a while.
Her in like a diner or something.
Interesting. Fun fact, real quick. I just had
falling apart, and he's like asking her. He's like, "What's going on?" Whatever, and she's like, "It ages you. It ruins you. Whatever." It's like that's what James Harden looks like to me. He looks so old and slow.
Good movie. I gotta rewatch that. Yeah, no, he does.
I get it's early in the season, you're finding your shot. I'm not saying anything about that. What I'm saying about it is just the moseying around like an old guy with Alzheimer's.
Well,
At the top of the key.
he's not comfortable in that offense, and I
What,
don't know
after
if
2 years he's still, I guess he got there late. Whatever.
2 years. I mean, yeah. How many games did he play last year?
It's
Although
been like 9 months.
and his
And
best
him
game, that streak he had when he was tearing it up, wasn't that him and Kyrie? I believe, not him and KD. I believe
I think
KD was
so.
out for that, so they haven't played together much in the last 2 years or his whole net stint. Apparently, they just put Kyrie on the trading block.
Yeah, because the East Coast isn't gonna ever in the next however many years want to deal with all that crap. I mean, he's just not gonna be able to play in games. You might as well.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
He's got to go somewhere with like warm weather or something, or south.
And it's funny that they would think that the Sixers could, because that's just one problem for another. I don't know why either team would.
At least he's worth the problem. At least he's like, his upside as a basketball player is like, oh, you can literally like hit game-winning shots in an NBA championship.
Oh, he would be that guy. It's just you're not going to get him to take a shot of a different sort.
Yeah, well,
you guys,
that was good. That was pretty good. All right. Today's games.
Yeah, let's get into
the games. The last few. We're actually not bad. 27 minutes. That's good timing.
Nice. Let's knock out these games first. Tuesday, October 26th.
Let's go back and forth. You go first.
The lines were not up on some of
these.
We looked yesterday, so
The Spurs Lakers line came out plus 4.5. It looks like
I didn't love that one.
On the Spurs. I'm taking the money line. I'm not taking the points. I'm gonna, because I don't know. The way, I guess there's a world where they just absolutely just, play really motivated and just bombard the Spurs and like overwhelm Podol inside, or just way too physical. But I think Pop's going to come with a good game plan. And if you can't really stretch, you can't really have, like, I think Pop, who's been around and is one of the best coaches, can figure out how to like limit a team with zero shooting and just pack the paint and just be like, shoot over us and whatever. And then we'll spread you out on the other end and hit threes with like Keldon Johnson stuff that AD's not going to want to chase around because he's lazy.
It's just as long as they just luck out and LeBron or AD aren't going off tonight, I think they definitely cover. Wow. Like, that's the only X factor is one of those two just has a night in their bag.
I mean, what if DeJounte Murray goes? What if Dougie McDermott goes off tonight?
Yeah, anything's possible. But yeah, back to what we were saying, this Lakers team is just seriously flawed. And if anyone can figure out those flaws, it's the greatest NBA coach in the history of the NBA.
I mean, they almost just tried to blow, like, they've blown like 10-point leads in every game because at some point the offense runs into a wall when, like, LeBron threes aren't going in, which is the majority of the time in a real world.
Yeah, especially when he's just got the constant green light, and also when he hits them early. He's going to be shooting them all.
Oh, he hits like one early. If he hits one of the first 2 or 3 shoots, oh my God, it's a bad night.
Yeah.
Bad night for Lakers fans.
So my favorite homer pick, of course, and this line's actually making me feel better about it, that it's basically a pick 'em. Sixers in New York, 7:30.
Kills.
I thought, wouldn't you think the Knicks would be giving up a few more points at home?
Would I? No, they just lost to the
Magic.
It's a bad matchup, and they just lost to the Magic. Like, which you play a home and home.
Do a lot of people know that's a bad matchup though, or
the Sixers?
I know that's a bad matchup. Yeah.
The Knicks haven't beaten the Sixers.
And I'm just talking basically because
I don't think the Knicks have beaten the Sixers in like 3 or 4 years.
That's not true.
Yes. They haven't beat them the last 10 times they played. I'm looking at the last 10 times they played. They haven't beat them in the last 10. So,
are you kidding me? We're on that streak against them?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, you and I have a lot of Knicks friends, fans, who are rightly bullish on their team this year, but
I'm a Sixers fan. I mean, I'm a Knicks fan now that they have Quickly.
Okay, well, regardless of fandom,
15 in a
not,
row.
You're not. That's insane. You're not
Dating
a blind,
back to 2017, Christmas 2017.
That is wild. Well, you're not a blind Knicks fan, regardless, and that team's just gonna always struggle with the Bucks, the Sixers, and teams that have premier size and length because they don't. Their guards are even undersized, and it's gonna be a struggle for them. So
a lot of guard experience on the Knicks side. That's the one thing I'll say.
And now a lot of guard experience, but I don't know. The Sixers have been playing good team defense. Like Mitchell Robinson going up against Embiid and Drummond is just not a fun night for Mitchell Robinson.
I like Mitchell Robinson.
I like him too, but talk about he's given up a lot of weight. He's going to be beat up.
This is one where you'd like to have Nerlens Noel to rotate into so you can have two of them going at him.
What's Nerlens doing against either of them, man?
I like Nerlens Noel. We always go through this. I think he gives you those scrappy minutes you need.
Yes, if he's playing against like Rashawn Holmes or like who's that bum on Dallas?
Don't say bum and Rashawn Holmes in the same sentence. I
said
Rashawn
bum
Holmes,
on Dallas.
I know, but you said Rashawn Holmes, and who's that
I like
bum on
Rashawn
Dallas?
Holmes.
Implying that Rashawn Holmes is also a bum.
Okay, well, you're making your own implications, my friend.
No.
So let me rescind any potential implication there because there were no implications made.
We are big.
I like Rashawn Holmes a lot.
Podcast.
I just meant it's a guy. Mitchell Robinson can match up with the Rashawn Holmes in terms of athleticism. Clint Capella matches up well with because they're centers, but they're not big boys. If he's got to go up against Valanciunas, against Antetokounmpo, against Embiid, that's not a good matchup for him.
I see what you mean.
So yeah. And then Drummond, too, is just – that's why I love that signing for the Sixers because they're just going to punish people 48 minutes a night. But anyway, I like the Sixers play.
Okay.
And then my second one –
because I think you guys are kind of a dumpster of a team, so I can't consensus that, but I would be on that side or nothing.
Okay. I also like the Warriors giving up 9 points against OKC, but one of my big notes from week one is that OKC is very bad at basketball. They do not have a real NBA roster.
I think they were the lowest team we had.
As much as we love SGA, he's just in a bad spot, and that team's not good. So, yeah.
One thing I will say is that, like Steph, I watched the entirety of that Kings game or whatever the other night, and they actually had to put a lot of effort in to come out with that win. That was like they had them pushed neck and neck until like late. The next time the
Kings are a good team though.
The next time the Kings play the Warriors, definitely take the Kings. The way the matchup plays and stuff, they're just like not. They need to close the experience gap and like the actual basketball gap. But like the way
they match up very well. Both teams guard heavy. Both teams have good wings and undersized forwards. Both teams missing interior.
You put Mitchell on Steph. You have a lot of good. He actually did a pretty good job. Steph was, making and taking.
Rashawn Holmes can have a good game against that team because
the one thing I would say is that this is going to be such an easy spot for the Warriors stars to just be like, dude. We're gonna have to carry this fucking team all season. We need a couple days off every here and there, and here is one. So like we're like just not really.
I think teams don't start looking at or stop looking at Sacramento in that light.
I'm talking about the Warriors for tomorrow.
Oh, got you. You mean tonight?
Where it's like they are
tonight against OKC.
Yeah, we're not even pretending they're not bad. This is let's just we're not really going to play today. Let's see if the young guys can win it. If we need to chip in a little bit, we will. But we need a mental day off. We need a physical day off. Basically, where we're going to play 20 minutes. I don't know. We'll see.
This is true, but devil's advocate, they also don't want to give up easy wins.
No, they'll get the win. There's no way they ain't getting the win. But to cover 10, you need to win by double digits.
No, I know. I called the Sixers double-digit win on Sunday night, though. Also against OKC, because the team's just bad. And if we can do it, Warriors can do it.
Okay, fair play. I was going to say also the Jazz over the Nuggets, but now after the Nuggets lost last night, I don't want to take it anymore.
Yeah, that's a no play for me, too. I was actually on the other side.
And 7's too big. 7's too big. I thought it would be like 4.
It's a big number.
I thought it would be like 4 or something like that. 7's too much.
Big time no play. And then just because it's the last one, looking at it, if I was to take a side, I would take the Rockets. 11 points is a lot.
I would even sprinkle a little money line.
Yeah, seriously.
At like plus 550, at least they're athletic again. They'll have a monster athleticism edge. Yep. It almost could look like the
and they have a size advantage.
Young team trying hard. It could be very reminiscent of the
Warriors
Magic Knicks game.
Yep.
Where like keep it close and then late, just like kind of go on like a streak or something and kind of just like, catch them off guard, just play harder, get offensive rebounds, and just score like that. Like Wendell Carter must have had a million O-board putbacks against the Knicks the other day. It's just like we're feeling a little lazy. It's earlier in the season. You guys shook.
Yeah, and there's something about Orlando too. I think that's just kind of a depressing city when you're not used to it. Like the guys on the Magic, they're just used to living in that shit city of.
I think they're turning it around. Wendell Carter, signing him to a nice extension, that's a good get the little vibes going good in the locker room. He's your leader. I kind of like – I'm a Wendell Carter guy.
Center.
I'm a Wendell Carter guy.
He's an undersized center.
He's a lot more than that. He's a Duke basketball not a legend. He's a Duke basketball ex-Duke basketball player.
He's a sick backup center is what he is.
You're probably right. All right, let's do Wednesday real quick.
Wednesday,
let's get out of here. I gotta take the dogs to a public playground. I like
and
the
I gotta
over
rate
the
some
Magic.
mortgages.
The final shim shammery to their starting like whatever. Oh no, they lost. Yeah, definitely they lost to the Celtics the other day. I think they will respond and beat the Magic.
What number are you seeing? A number on it?
No, I don't have any on these yet, but I assume it'll be like -3 or something. I would take that.
Yeah, there's no numbers on these.
I'll take it up to -3. The Magic coming off of that win against the Knicks, they're probably going to get some. The Hornets are going to win that game.
This is also Suggs is going to get smothered by LaMelo. Cole Anthony's going to get smothered as well. There's just a bad match.
Suggs is going to get smothered. LaMelo can smother people on defense. That's a real thing?
Well, not LaMelo. I just meant like he's going to get canceled out big time. Like LaMelo's going to outperform Suggs.
Yeah, okay.
Largely.
Smothered sounds like he's going to just put some
you're right. Again, see me with my
I haven't watched a ton of LaMelo. I don't know. I'm just wondering, does he actually smother people with defense ever? Is that a thing he can do?
When he tries, he plays good on ball defense, yes. But he can also get lost in the defense, obviously.
Well, I saw they signed his brother to like the G League, so that's huge for the Hornets. What about
family morale?
Yeah.
How about both Ball brothers are in first place? Or I guess that might not be true anymore, but they were.
They're not that team. I was watching them last night. Dude, they just the Celtics are just super soft. They're like a soft team. It's like crazy with Marcus Smart as like a lead guard. They're so soft. Like when Miles Bridges has like freaking 30 points on you from just dunking it, it's like you're just soft. You're a softie.
I wonder if Al Horford will help with that at all. Obviously, he's very old. But he basically had a year off last year. So
we got our showcase game actually on this Wednesday one. So let me get to I like the Raptors over the Pacers. I think the Pacers just that team plays no defense. They look bad. I do love the Raptors. I could be a little clouded there, but I just that Pacers team. Watching the game last night, I wrecked the Bucks.
They're not. They're not good.
Dude, the Bucks beat them with like no one. They had like 4 people. They were starting Giannis's brother. They were like, this is like a joke game, and they still won by 10. It's a bad.
Giannis's brother plays good defense though.
Yeah, and it's a great matchup for the Bucks, but I just don't like this Pacers team. I know you're gonna say the Kings over the Suns.
That is one that I like, but that depends on what the line is, of course.
If that's like, I think it would come out somewhere between
I think it might be 6.5
6.5
or more.
on the lowest end and probably like 8.5 on the high end. I think it's going to come out somewhere in there.
And if you're giving me 7+ points, I'm taking the Kings.
Dicey, in my opinion. Dicey. I can
Dicey,
see. I don't think they're. If this is later in the season, this number's not going to be that high, and they definitely cover. But early in the season, this team is just like they can play like 40 out of 48 minutes of good basketball, maybe like 42. But those 6 minutes are so bad.
Yeah,
and it just the whole thing falls apart.
No, that's all it takes is.
It might not even be 6 minutes. It might be like 3, and it probably gets less and less each game.
Regardless.
Until finally they eliminate that gap. Marvin Bagley gets off the court, and they start to rise. Because that guy, I mean, he's just such a net negative. I think we also have
my favorite pick of the night is the Grizzlies.
Our game of the week. Game of the week.
Oh, because it's our strongest pick of the week.
Yes, this is game of the week. This has to be your pick of the week in the NBA. This is the easiest pick in the NBA.
I think so.
Yeah, the John Morant game.
You're gonna get points because they're away. It might be a pick 'em, maybe a pick 'em.
That's what I'm thinking. Because the Blazers suck, and that wasn't great optically last night for what the line's gonna be.
They're bad. That's the only worrisome. The Grizzlies might be giving points.
By the time tip, it's gonna open at like maybe a +1, +2.
Jump on that one earlier.
Yeah, that's a hop on right away.
All 2 of our viewers, please.
Yeah, both of you hop on.
Do it right away.
Yeah. But I think it's a great matchup. Ja missing those free throws right at the end of the Laker game or free throw. He hit the
averaging 35 points through 3 games.
He's gonna smush some faces.
I love that kid.
He's gonna smush some faces. It's gonna be a problem.
Have you seen him too? He's obviously keeps himself in great shape all the time, but he looks looks like he put on some muscle mass this year.
Yeah, all these kids, they're like 19. They're like so far from their grown bodies. Jason Tatum's 6'10" now. He's grown like 2 to 3 inches since he left college.
It's crazy.
He's still soft as Charmin. Crazy. You can make the guy as big as you want.
Tyler Hero has also put on some weight too. He's looking good through.
Is he?
First week as well.
He put on some weight?
Looked like he put on just a tiny bit. He just looks like he's came to play. And obviously he's been balling, so
Portland's garbage. I love that matchup, the toughness, everything. Yes. That's a great matchup.
Totally. John Morant should eat. Jaren Jackson and Steven Adams. I mean, Adams is just Nurkic is gonna hate that matchup. And then Jaren Jackson. What do they do with him? Robert Covington on Jaren Jackson. That's funny.
This is too tough. Toughness versus Charmy. We'll take the toughness. We'll take a motivated
Grizz have a good grit to them. Sucks they lost Grayson Allen because he definitely was a big part of the grit. But they still got it.
What a good addition for the Bucks. That guy is going to be
such a good
NBA player. That was almost like hazing what that kid had to go through, and it's going to end up turning him into one of the best frat brothers of all time. Wait, he's going to be a great frat brother.
No, you're right. I also like, real quick, I like the Hawks over the Pelicans. Again, depends on what that number is. For some reason, I think it won't be too egregious. But assuming it's...
No, I bet you that is close. I can even see the Pelicans. No, they're not going to be favorites. But like a -1, -2, something like that.
I don't know about that. Well, I was going to guess 3.5.
No, that's too much respect for the Hawks. I would take the Pelicans right away.
You think that much?
Too much respect. I don't know. The Hawks are a playoff team bringing back everybody. I like the Hawks on Thursday over the Wizards.
Healthier.
Because I don't think they can play with the Wizards.
Not healthy.
The Wizards can't play with the Hawks for 48 minutes. There's no way. That Wizards team.
They don't have the depth right now. And that's what also is the reason Hawks, their depth over the Pelicans is just – I saw the first game when the Sixers played them. The Pelicans' depth right now with Zion out is – it's not pretty.
The Wizards were basically playing like a better version of what they're trying to be, and they're going to get their shit kicked in when they play the Hawks. because they're almost
Yes.
trying to be that with like Gafford taking the Capella role, and it's almost like they're trying to. So it's just like you're playing an older version of yourself, which is always the worst matchup in sports.
Like
Anything
Miami
else?
over Brooklyn too.
What?
Miami over Brooklyn.
Basically anybody over Brooklyn. How am I going to argue with? They play such bad defense.
Exactly, but
I don't know.
specifically
I
Miami.
don't love. I just don't love Miami's with their little entre-trois.
This guy's just got our two viewers out there. You probably already know if you're watching this, but this guy's got a real.
I got a Jimmy
grudge with
Butler bias.
Yeah. So
Jimmy Butler's lost me too much money in my life. I don't like him. You need to go out? All right, brother. I like it. Let's I just had to I gotta take the dogs to their play group now.
No, all good, man.
We link back up on like
Hopefully
Friday.
the end of the week. Yeah, goal is Friday afternoon. Give a little weekend preview. See if we got any of these picks right. And real quick, cookies for rookies. I just got 3 cookies and shout outs to give through the first week. Chris
Chocolate
Duarte.
chip?
No, M&M's.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, some good M&M's. There's chocolate chips in there though too, but they're M&M chocolate chip. Chris Duarte. He's been playing awesome, even though Pacers haven't been great, but it's been good. Jalen Green, another dumpster fire team.
I'll give a cookie to too. I like him.
He deserves a cookie, and Scotty Barnes also deserves a cookie.
2 cookies for Scotty as well. 5 cookies. Last cookie in the 6-pack of cookies. Or maybe
This is a 4-pack.
Oh, it's a 4-pack?
Yeah. Or, I mean, if you got 3 more, I only have 1
All right,
more.
take the cookie back from Scotty Barnes. He gets it when he does more. Those are the 4 cookies. Give the 2 cookies to Jalen Green, though. I like him.
I was gonna give Franz a cookie.
I'll give Franz a cookie. We need 6 cookies. We got to buy a dozen cookies. Maybe we just give out a dozen cookies every week from now on.
We don't have 12 worthy rookies right now.
No, you can divvy up your cookies. We gave 2 cookies to Jalen. The 5 we gave out this week, and my face is getting so damn fat. I ate the other 7 this week. I mean, I can't even see my cheekbones. I'm looking at myself. I ate the other 7 clearly. All right. I like it. Shelly, have a wonderful day on the East Coast. I'm going to
I will. We got flood warnings out here. I don't know about you guys, but it's not going to be
I don't
great.
know. I'm
all
right.
Basketball probably.
Yeah, that sucks. Well, stay afloat.
I'll do my best.
And if things start to get haywire, you remember that story at Noah's Ark. Don't forget.
Yep.
Don't forget. I've known Shelly to hop behind the wheel and drive a boat before. So you need to hop on that.
I can drive anything, to be honest.
I can drive. Okay. All right. That's a good way to end it with I can drive anything.
Yeah, we know this. All right.
All right. Have a good day, bro.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, world. We'll see you soon.